It was a late night for day one of the Democratic National Convention. Jeff Engel, director for the Center for Presidential History at SMU, stayed up late for us. Thank you so much. You're here with a look. I thought it was interesting as I was watching because it's almost like someone handed everyone a script and said, like, okay, here's your message. Thank Joe Biden, and now talk about the future with Kamala.
Well, I think the reason you felt that is because someone handed them a script.
Okay.
You know, we need to remember that these conventions are essentially produced television shows, and you might even say produced commercials. Nothing goes on, hopefully, if everything goes right for the conventioneers, nothing goes on that they don't want. This is exactly the message that they want to present, and they were, of course, pivoting a month ago. Those speeches would have been about Joe Biden.
Right.
So now, basically, everybody is taking the same speech, taking the names out, moving them around, and trying to essentially say that we are unified as a party. That's the message that the Democrats want to get out of after 4 days.
And we finally heard from President Biden. I thought the line he said, well, I gave my best to you. I thought that, like, I mean, even like him or not, you can't argue the fact that he dedicated his life or gave his life to this.
And I really do think people should go back and look at his early years in particular and the sacrifices and difficulties that he faced when he was in the early Senate, losing his wife in a car accident, et cetera, et cetera. But what's fascinating, I think, is that we were so focused a month ago on the politics of this and on what was going to happen with the election, which is important, but I think that it helped obscure that this is a real human story. I mean, every single one of us faces this situation with an aging parent, with aging ourselves, deciding how long to stay in our careers. This is something that we all have to face, and this poor man had to face it with global attention.
Yeah. It wasn't all cheers last night. There were some deeply emotional moments. I know we saw some families, some women, even a family from Texas, sharing their heartbreaking stories about how Roe versus Wade, how that reversal has impacted them. Will that impact anybody? Undecided voters, are they even historically watching these conventions?
You know, to be honest, no, probably not.
Yeah.
But the truth is that issue, reproductive freedom, is actually the singular issue, I think, for the Democrats this time. When you can see that change, because when Joe Biden was the president, or excuse me, was the nominee, he was going to make the election about him versus Trump. Now, Kamala Harris can make the election more about the issues, because voters won't be saying, is Joe too old? Is Joe too old? They'll be able to say, okay, we put that issue aside. Now, what are the actual issues facing the country?
Yeah.
And the number one issue facing the country, aside from the economy, of course, that's always number one. Yeah. The number one thing that voters care about is reproductive rights at this point.
Something that you mentioned is that was a little different. You point out that there wasn't a lot of negativity in this. What do you mean by that?
You know, I was thinking it's really fascinating, both in the Republican convention in 24 that we had last month and then this one. We just basically are seeing two parties that are coalescing behind their leaders and coalescing behind their messages. Now, let's take out 2020, because that was COVID and that was weird. But go back to 2016. And in 2016, we had Texas's own Ted Cruz at the Republican convention, giving a relatively, in fact, I'd say very anti-Trump speech and getting booed by delegates. By the same token, we had Bernie Sanders being divisive against Hillary Clinton. And it really shows, I think, that in 2016, the parties were less coalesced than they are today, that they are essentially unified behind their own message. Now, there's good and bad points to that. One can argue that you don't like the way the message is going, but there's no doubt that the Republican Party is the party of Trump, and the Democratic Party at the end of this week is going to be the party of, well, frankly, let's beat Trump. And also Kamala Harris.
Good point. Good point. We got Michelle Obama, former President Barack Obama speaking tonight. So lots more to come. Thank you so much.
See you later.
Appreciate it.